In the silence between stars, war never ends. It only changes shape. Humans are at war with the Sarthu, reptilian, intelligent, cruel beings. They don't want territory. They don't want resources. They want memory. Every destroyed planet, every fallen civilization, every trauma experienced is fuel. The Sarthu feed on collective terror, on the pain condensed in the final scream of a people. And the more worlds burn, the stronger their collective mind becomes. After the brutal fall of planet Axtros, Earth decides to strike back. Central Command authorizes the boldest offensive since the war began, a deep strike mission led by the warship Arden Spear. On board is Kael Miro, lieutenant, strategist, respected, and completely broken. Since the Battle of Eridanos Prime, he speaks little, acts on the edge. He lost his brother that day. They say it was the chaos of battle, but Kael knows it was his fault. Now he is assigned to lead the most unstable mission in the fleet. Destination, Sector 7C. Fragmented reports indicate Sarthu activity on an uncharted planet. Temporary name, 48X. A blind spot on the maps. No neighboring stars. No signs of life. No reason to exist. And yet, intelligence detected intense psychic activity in orbit. Mission of the Ardent Spear: investigate, identify, and if possible, annihilate. The crew is tense. They don't talk much. They know missions to Sector 7C don't return, but when Kael walks into the command room, the silence changes tone. He isn't just feared. He's a reminder that sometimes the living return worse than the dead. 5 days later, the Ardent Spear arrives at System 48X. But what they find there is not a planet. It's a waiting.
Planet 48X rotates slowly, as if waiting for something or someone. No defined atmosphere, no signs of life, but its magnetic field pulses like a sleeping heart. Kael leads the descent. Tactical team, 3 recon drones, weapons ready, expectations high. But what they find on the ground is the opposite of expected. No enemy, only fog. Gray, thick, alive. Sensors go haywire. No GPS works. No data is reliable. The ground seems to move. Mountains shift when not observed. And then the hallucinations begin. One soldier hears his mother's voice. Another sees his own funeral. Kael sees his brother, standing in the fog, smiling, saying, "You've been here before." Kael doesn't respond, but his heart races because part of him knows it could be true. Back in orbit, something moves. The asteroid belt was a trap. Sarthu's ships emerge from cloaked folds, camouflaged in dead space. The human fleet is caught off guard. Explosions light up the void. Ships turn to ash in seconds. The ardent spear tries to maneuver, flee, fight back, but it's too late. A direct hit strikes the central reactor. She begins to fall. On the planet, Kael looks to the sky. The gray cloud breaks, and he sees the ardent spear burning, falling toward the horizon like a dying star. There's nothing he can do. No command, no backup, nothing. Only the voice inside his mind. Clear, cold, familiar. You didn't fall here. You were called back. And the world goes dark.
Kael wakes up in the dark. His suit is damaged, comms are down, no signal from the team, no response from orbit, only the sound of his own breathing and the absolute silence of a planet that watches. But something has changed. The sky is no longer gray. Now it pulses in shades of red, like blood beneath a living lens. The rock formations have shifted. What was once a plain is now a labyrinth. Kael understands. This planet has no geography. It has will. As he tries to get his bearings, Kael sees markings on the ground, symbols, circular engravings, all pulsing with a low, steady, almost hypnotic frequency. He feels memories that aren't his, screams, wars, losses, sensations invading his mind as if they were his own. But they aren't. They are echoes. Farther ahead, he finds a structure, gigantic, organic, as if a collapsed brain had been carved from living stone. Lights move inside. Kael enters, and there he sees tubes, hundreds, with bodies suspended in dark fluid, some human, some Sarthu, and others hybrids, creatures that defy logic, biology, or mercy. One of them is awake. The creature looks at Kael and speaks, not with its mouth, but with its mind. You are inside the incomplete mind. 48X is not a planet. It is an entity, a fragment of a consciousness that tried to exist and failed. It feeds on traumatic memories because they are the only ones that cannot be erased. It was made to store pain, but now it wants more. Kael steps back, disturbed. What does it want? The answer is direct. You. Your mind is marked. Your traumas are deep. Your grief is pure. You are not a victim. You are a mirror. Kael tries to flee, but the ground shifts, the path unravels, the exit vanishes. The planet no longer wants to let him go. And the most terrifying part? Kael realizes that part of him doesn't want to leave.
Kael runs, but goes nowhere. Each step returns him to the same point. The planet has no logic because it doesn't need logic. It only needs him. The environment around him reshapes as if being redrawn, not by nature, but by memory. Kael is back at the Battle of Eridanos Prime. The sounds, the explosions, the smoke, all exactly as he remembered. But something is wrong, terribly wrong. He sees himself giving orders he never gave, watching his brother charge without cover, getting hit, falling. Only this time, Kael doesn't scream. He watches, passive, as if seeing it happen for the first time. Suddenly, he wakes up somewhere else, on board the ardent spear before the mission. Soldiers talk, laugh, but their mouths don't move. They're repeating lines, like actors, like recordings, and they all look at him with one single expression: judgment. Kael tries to scream, but no words come out. He runs. Each room is a memory, each memory a labyrinth, each labyrinth an emotional trap. He sees his mother crying. He sees himself, a child. He sees his brother one last time, and then he sees another version of himself. It smiles and says, "This is your punishment, to see everything you tried to forget. Because forgetting is the true luxury, and this planet was made for those who don't deserve that luxury." Kael falls to his knees. Everything shakes around him. The sky screams in red. The earth pulses with pain. And then he remembers the truth. He gave the order. He sent his brother forward alone. He lied in the report, and he has fled from guilt ever since. Now there is no more escape, and 48X knows it. Because now the planet doesn't just want to consume his pain, it wants him to become the pain itself.
The planet falls silent. For the first time since the crash, Kael hears true emptiness. No voices, no false memories, only him and the choice. The entity speaks with clarity, not through hallucination, but with intention. "You have what I need, the ability to feel pain without forgetting, the ability to carry guilt without breaking. You can contain what no one else could bear." Kael asks, "For what?" The answer is direct: to become my face, to remember for me. The planet is a fragmented consciousness, an entity that collapsed from feeling too much. Now it wants a body, a physical link, a mind capable of surviving the emotional overload of the universe, and Kael is the perfect vessel. In that moment, something changes. A group of soldiers appears, humans, survivors of the Ardent Spear. They claim they escaped, regrouped, and found Kael. They bring an evacuation module. But something's wrong. Among them is a woman. Same voice, same face. His mother. She's supposed to be dead years ago. But there she is, speaking with the same tenderness as when he was a child. "Come with me, son. It's okay now." Kael hesitates. He steps closer, almost touches her hand. But then, he looks into her eyes, and he understands. She is also the planet. Another trap, another memory repurposed. The entity isn't trying to convince him. It's bargaining. If he accepts, the pain stops. The memory fades. Individuality dissolves, peacefully. But if he refuses, 48X will destroy him, or worse, trap him there forever. Kael closes his eyes and says, "I accept, but not as a host, as a guardian. If I must carry this pain, then let it have purpose.
Let it never be forgotten, and let it never be erased. The planet responds with silence, and in the very next second, Kael ceases to be merely human.
The planet stops moving. The mist clears. The voices fall silent. Only one being remains, or something that was once a man. Kael Miro no longer breathes, but he lives. His eyes are closed, but within his mind, millions of lives play on repeat. The wars of the Sarthu, the screams of the lost colonies, the silent sacrifices no one ever spoke of, all of it is there, trapped, preserved, and felt. 48X now has a form, a bridge, a body. Kael is the mirror of a wounded universe, the living consciousness of everything that could not be erased, and he accepted it. In deep space, the Sarthu fleet approaches. They sensed the change, the pain, the activation of the entity. They came to finish the job, to consume the planet, to convert the consciousness. But the planet is no longer the same. It has a voice, and for the first time, the Sarthu hear it. Kael speaks, but his voice does not come from a mouth. It comes from the mountains, the sky, the vacuum between atoms. You want to forget what you are. I am what you left behind. I am the pain that refuses to die. And now you will remember. The Sarthu fleet hesitates. They feel fear. Not of power, not of war, but of memory. Because the entity doesn't strike with weapons, it strikes with everything that was ever felt, and now the Sarthu feel it all. At the center of the galaxy, a new legend is born, of a planet that remembers, of a warrior who chose to feel, of an echo that will never be silenced. Anomaly 48X. A place where pain became consciousness and memory became sentence.